At 12:18 a.m., nothing is happening. The room is dark, your phone is quiet, your body is finally still. And then, with no warning, your brain opens a memory from 7 years ago and says, "We need to talk about this." Maybe it was the thing you said too loudly, the joke that landed wrong, the goodbye where you waved, then they waved, then somehow you waved again. Nobody else remembers it, but your brain kept the receipt. And somehow, it always knows the worst possible time to show it to you. So tonight's why is simple. Why does your brain bring back cringe when everything finally gets quiet? The simple answer is, your brain is not replaying the moment because it hates you. It is replaying it because, in a clumsy and outdated way, it thinks the moment mattered. Humans are social creatures. That sounds like something printed on a mug, but your brain takes it very seriously. For most of human history, being accepted by other people was not just emotionally nice. It meant safety, help, information, and a place in the group. Being pushed away from the group could be dangerous. So your brain learned to pay close attention to moments where connection felt threatened. A strange look, an awkward silence, a laugh that did not sound quite right, a sentence you wish you could pull back into your mouth. To the modern part of you, these are tiny mistakes. To the older alarm system in your brain, they can feel like warnings. Not because you are in danger right now, but because the brain is asking, did we do something that could cost us belonging? That is why embarrassment can feel so physical. Your face gets hot, your stomach drops, your chest tightens. Your body reacts as if a small social mistake is not just information, but a threat. And sometimes, that alarm does something annoying. It saves the file. It does not label it clearly as minor awkward moment, probably fine. It labels it as important, review later. And later usually means night. During the day, your mind is busy. There are messages, errands, people, lights, sounds, meals, tabs, decisions, chores, and tiny emergencies. Your attention keeps getting pulled somewhere else. Even if the memory flashes for a second, the world interrupts it. A notification appears. Someone asks a question. Life keeps walking into the room. But at night, the room gets quiet. The outside world stops interrupting. There are fewer lights, fewer voices, fewer tasks, fewer places for your attention to go. And when there is less noise coming in, the noise already inside your head gets easier to hear. That does not mean the memory became more important. It means it has less competition. A tiny alarm in a busy airport is easy to miss. The same alarm in an empty room sounds enormous. This is one reason old cringe can feel so much sharper at night. Your brain finally has space to review unfinished emotional paperwork. And embarrassment is very good at pretending it is urgent, so the memory gets to play. And then it replays. And then it starts adding commentary. This is where the second strange thing happens. The memory you are replaying may not be a perfect copy of what happened. Memory is not a security camera. It is more like a sketch your brain redraws each time you open it, and the mood you are in can change the lighting. If you are calm, rested, and making coffee at 10 a.m., the memory might seem small, a little awkward, maybe even funny. But if you are tired, lonely, stressed, or already anxious at midnight, your brain may redraw the same scene with darker lines. The pause feels longer. The faces look colder. Your mistake sounds louder. The room in the memory feels like it was full of judges, even if it was really full of people thinking about lunch. This is why the same memory can feel harmless in the morning and unbearable at night. The event did not change. The lighting did. Your brain is not only remembering what happened, it is remembering what happened through the mood you are in now. That is not a personal failure. That is how memory often works. And embarrassing memories are especially sticky because they come with a feeling attached. A normal memory says, this happened. An embarrassing memory says, this happened, and we should probably never allow anything like it again. That is a much louder file. But loud does not always mean useful. Sometimes the memory is offering information. Maybe you interrupted someone. Maybe you ignored a cue. Maybe you were trying too hard to be funny because you felt nervous. That can be useful. But the brain often makes one mistake. It confuses learning with punishment. It thinks if it makes you feel bad enough, you will be safer next time. So it turns the lesson into a sentence you have to serve, again and again. But punishment is not the same as wisdom. A lesson is small enough to carry. Punishment is the heavy bag your brain keeps handing you after the lesson is already over. So when the old file opens at night, you do not have to fight it like a lawyer, and you do not have to obey it like a judge. You can name what is happening. This is an old social alarm. This is my brain reviewing connection. This is embarrassment, not evidence. That small label matters because it moves the memory from identity to process. Instead of, I am embarrassing, the sentence becomes, my brain is replaying embarrassment. Those are very different. One makes the memory who you are. The other makes it something your mind is doing. And once there is a little space, you can ask a better question. Not, why am I like this? But, is there anything useful here? If there is, take it. Take the tiny lesson. Send the kinder text next time. Let someone finish their sentence. Pause before filling silence. But leave the punishment, because sometimes there is no lesson left. Sometimes the memory is just an old alarm still ringing in an empty building. No audience, no danger, no emergency, just a file your brain forgot to close. And in that moment, the kindest, honest answer might be, thank you, brain. I got the message. Not because the memory was meaningless, but because it does not need to run the whole meeting. You are allowed to learn from a moment without moving into it. You are allowed to cringe without building a home there. Because the replay is not proof that you failed at being human. It is proof that your brain was built to care about other humans. Sometimes too much, especially when the room gets quiet.